Welcome along to Zandvoort for another fascinating Formula 2 race today. 4 lefts and 10 rights make up the 14 corners of the narrow and demanding Zandvoort circuit, with plenty of peaks and valleys over the course of the 2.6-mile lap, which will demand absolute concentration from our drivers here today. As the engineers make their last inspection of the cars, let's take a look at today's grid order for the race. A fantastic effort from Ollie Behrman yesterday puts him on pole position. And starting alongside him P2 is Teo Pourchaire. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Leclerc, de Reuveler, Victor Martins, Fittipaldi, Vesti, Hauger, Benavides, Ayumu Awasa, Doohan, Miney, Juan Manuel Correa, Isaac Hadjar, and Vishor, Stanek, Novalak, and Roy Nissany. Cordial, Crawford, Maloney, and Ralph Boschon completes the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. Hello one, hello all, and welcome to the commentary box. I'm Alex Jakes, he is Alex Brundle, and we have changeable conditions today, Alex. How does that uncertainty affect the strategy?
Well, uncertainty is what strategy is all about, but it absolves the teams from the responsibility of running both compounds of tyre. They might have to use that wet tyre, of course, and then the question is, where do those crossovers lie between the wet and dry conditions?
Dirty air of the car in front, let's get past them. teammate by 3.1 seconds. Experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs. Okay, Arthur, we've got more fuel in hand than we need, so let's push and use it all up. Fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. wasn't quite what we needed, I'm afraid, but look, let's move on. Get your head down and chin up and focus till the end of the race. In this lap, push now. Box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. Let's go now, come on. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. Okay, careful with the overtakes. That was a bit risky. We could have received a penalty. And that's a Yumu in the pits. A Yumu is in the pits now. Tyre condition still looking good. Okay, Vesti's just set the fastest lap of the race. manoeuvre. You made it look so easy. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. The pace is strong, but be aware these tyres need to go the distance. Mate, this is the final lap of the race, final lap. Yes, nice work, mate. You did a really good job today. Pretty sure the boss is going to be happy with that one.
He's made